Infinity War. Hey, what's up guys, SuperSamuraiM here. I saw Infinity War and what a movie. So here's what I'm going to do for this review. I'm going to tell you a brief synopsis of the movie, and then after that, all bets are off, spoilers. Now, if you clicked on this video, hopefully you've seen Infinity War by now. Hopefully. If you have not, what are you doing with your life? Go to your local theater and go see Infinity War right now. You're going to see Infinity War to see this masterpiece, because this truly is a masterpiece. So, this movie is, like Kevin Feige says, the culmination of everything in the MCU leading up to this moment. Like I said back in Top 5 Marvel Characters, full video by clicking the card. This truly is something that you need to be a fan of to really understand. If you have not seen any of the MCU movies and you're going to see this one, watch these three first, because then you'll understand it. I suggest watching the entire MCU because it is truly amazing. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Thanos. Thanos' goal is to bring balance to the universe by collecting all 6 Infinity Stones to complete his gauntlet so he can bring balance to the universe. And he's one of those villains, man, where he's like Vulture, like Killmonger. He thinks he's doing something right. He has his own feelings. He's not just I'm going to take over the world. Because right off the bat in the beginning of the movie, he already has the Power Stone and the Space Stone. My favorite parts. So, I have way too many favorite parts, because this movie was way too good. Is when the Guardians, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Spider-Man are all on Titan with Thanos, and they're trying to get that gauntlet off. Everyone using their abilities to try and pin down Thanos. They got him pinned down. Iron Man, and Spider-Man almost have the gauntlet off. And then Star-Lord, freaking Star-Lord, he goes up to Thanos, and he's like, alright, where's Gamora? And Mantis is on top of him, and she just says, he mourns, and we're like, oh snap. And if you've seen the rest of the movie, you know why he's mourning. And Star-Lord's in tears, and Tony Strange's and Spider-Man's reaction were all the same. They're like, Quill, don't lose your cool. The rest of the Avengers are like, here we go again. And that was so awesome, because this movie had so much stakes, because everyone was theorizing of who's gonna die, who's not gonna survive Infinity War and all that. Because you go in there with that mentality, every scene you watch has stakes. The stakes are high. Medium rare. Another favorite part I have, when the Avengers are taking on all the Black Order soldiers on Wakanda, and then Thor gets his new weapon, Stormbreaker, he's with Groot and Rocket, and they make the most epic entrance you will ever see in a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Oh my gosh, this beats Iron Man's entrances by a long mile. I'm sorry, but this moment got me like, yeah! That moment was just, and the music with it was just so perfect. Bring me Thanos! Amazing. It was so well done. And Thor, man, he's not having it, because he lost his father. He didn't know who his mother was. He lost his brother. He lost Loki, which one thing I have to point about Loki's death in this movie, because he does die. One thing I have to point out is, of all the deaths in this movie, his was probably the most underwhelming. I'm like, really? The God of Mischief? Like that? Like, come on. And he might come back, he might not, but if he doesn't, then, I mean, I mean, I hope he comes back because they need to have a better send-off for one of the best villains in the MCU. I mean, that's just how I feel. Oh my gosh, and the ending. Everyone's talking about the ending in this. Tony Stark, Iron Man, is freaking going ham on Thanos, on Titan. I was like, yeah, you get him! And Tony Stark was the only one to actually wound Thanos, which I was like, wow. And then, so Iron Man, his new suit, he can basically, using nanotechnology, he can summon like weapons, shields, blasters, which is freaking the best Iron Man armor ever. And then he takes out a sword, he goes for him, and Thanos, and I felt that. I legit, like, we were in the theater, and everyone was going crazy in this fight. We were like, yeah, you get him, Tony, yeah, yeah. And then when Thanos stabbed him, it was like, we're like, yeah. Thanos looks about to kill Tony, and if he killed him, I would have been sobbing. But then friggin' Doctor Strange had to give him the Time Stone. So he goes back to Earth. Thor freaking and Thanos shows up on Wakanda. His gauntlet is almost complete. Again, those stakes, man. The Mind Stone is the only one Thanos needs to complete his gauntlet. And the only way they can stop him is if Scarlet Witch destroys the Mind Stone. So she destroys the Mind Stone, and then everything seems fine and well. He reverses time with the Time Stone, and so the Mind Stone is not destroyed, and he puts it on his gauntlet, and whoop-de-doo, he has a completed gauntlet. So Thor freaking comes in as Thor freaking Ex Machina. Oh my god, he came in so late in the game. He was like, "Rah, bring me Thanos," and impales him, and we were like, "Oh, there he is. Yep, OP Thor." Thanos is on the verge of death until he had to say, "You should have gone for the head," and we're like, "Oh." We're like, "Oh, back to reality," and then slowly you hear Bucky say, "Steve," and we're like, "Oh no, what's happening?" He starts ashing away, and we're like, what's happening here? And then Sam Wilson, the Falcons, ashes away. We're like, what the? And then Black Panther. Boy, Black Panther's like, "This is no place to die." He ashes away, and we're like, oh, and then freaking Okoye ashes away, and then Groot ashes away, and we're like, oh no, not again. On Titan, Mantis ashes away, Star-Lord and Drax ash away, Doctor Strange ashes away, and we were like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And then close up to Tony Stark, and you see him looking around like, oh god, what's happening? Until Peter Parker says, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good." And we're like, oh no, don't, oh god. Marvel just took my heart, ripped it out, put it back in a million pieces. And that's how the movie ends. That is how the movie ends. That is a cliffhanger to end all cliffhangers. Man, this movie's so good. It's just, I have never seen a better masterpiece, ever. This is your fault. Tell me your thoughts about Infinity War in the comments down below. And I will see you guys later. And coming up is the video you guys have waited for. There's there for. Tune in. I know I delayed it to May, but it was for a good reason. Don't worry guys, it's coming, so just be patient. And yeah, see you guys later.
Whoa.